boy. Okay.
Happy Thursday.
Hi everyone. This is Caroline Hill with Divine Intervention. Oh, y'all gotta forgive me this evening. But this evening, I have a very special guest. I'm sorry. Keep it going, I know, but hey, we're gonna get there. Hold on. Okay. Woo, what a glorious day in the Lord, y'all. I just got to get through this, but I'll be okay in a minute.
We'll get through it together.
Yes, we are. Okay. I am Caroline Hill. I am with Divine Intervention, and we are here today with a very special young lady to me, and she's on my couch. Now, you know when you sit there in the hot seat, it's the hot seat.
Oh, goodness.
So you got to be ready.
Okay.
And if you ain't ready, you're going to get ready.
Okay. I'll do my best.
You're going to be all right, though.
Okay.
Miss Stephanie Thomas.
Hi, everyone.
She is my guest on tonight. And I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. I am Stephanie Thomas. I'm the Director of Programs and Integrated Services at Monarch Health Services.
Go ahead. Okay. Okay. On tonight, we're going to talk about race and relationships. Mm-hmm. And you're biracial?
Yes.
Are you?
Not really.
What do you classify yourself as?
Okay. I'm a black woman. Genetically, my DNA, I am biracial. My father is white. But my mother is a black woman. She's a strong black woman. Mm-hmm. And that is the influence that I had growing up. So that is the community, the environment that I was raised with. So that's how I identify.
Okay, as a black woman.
Yes.
A strong black woman.
Yes.
Educated.
As strong as I can be, as educated as I can be.
Yes, that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
So why you don't classify as biracial?
I think that has a lot to do with my upbringing. Mm-hmm. My father, it's funny actually. My father is the white one. And although he had a presence, I can't always say that he was present.
Okay.
So again, growing up with a strong, black woman as your role model, your leader, mm-hmm. the lion of the pack, mm-hmm. If this is the example that you have and this is the community and the environment that you were raised in, that's why I felt so closely drawn to the black community. It's not that he wasn't around, mm-hmm. but I can't say that the influence, like I said, and the presence was necessarily there or felt the same as it was, with my mother.
So he's the father, but not the daddy. Because you can be a father. A father is, because you produce a child. Mm-hmm. But a daddy, that's who raised you.
Yes.
Who done taught you some things.
Yes.
Who done whoop their butt when you got out of line.
Yes.
That's daddy.
And daddy was Bridget.
Okay, so she was mama and daddy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And it wasn't fair to her because with a young child growing up, you have to be the disciplinarian and, try and be the parent at the same time. And sometimes, would I act out or maybe even have some resentment towards her because I couldn't get my way, mm-hmm. Of course. But at that time, I didn't understand in my youth, why was she being so harsh or, why certain corrections were being made. You spare the rod, you spoil the child.
True.
So
that's biblical, girl.
There was no spoiling involved. There was no sparing of the rod involved mm-hmm. in our household mm-hmm. whatsoever.
And you know what? In a lot of African American families, there was no sparing. You got what you got.
Yes.
Because of what you did.
Yes.
And we didn't understand then, but we understand now.
Yes.
And especially because we have our own kids.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a son, but we're going to talk about him later.
Okay.
And seem like you're pregnant or you just fat?
There's definitely a bun in the oven.
Oh.
Something's cooking in
Something's
there.
cooking.
Something's
All right.
cooking.
It ain't done yet. It's just cooking. That's okay.
We got a couple more months to go. So the fat is due to the bun in the oven. Yeah.
It's okay. You're looking nice today.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
All
who do
for
you work? Oh, honey, sex is always it. Yeah, but thank you. Tell me where you work.
I'm at Monarch Health Services. We are a local nonprofit in the West Palm Beach area, and we service the community by providing medical services, social support, behavioral health, nutrition, and now even pharmacy services. So
Oh, wow.
we're really connected to the community and giving back. Our primary goal is to educate the community about sexual health and how to lead healthy relationships. You know, unfortunately, there are a lot of people and kids out there who are just, having free-for-alls and not understanding the consequences to their potential actions. So we're here to help any way we can.
Now, you just said a lot there, a mouthful. Healthy relationships. Now, it seemed like you was a rebellious child.
A little bit.
A little bit or a lot?
No, a little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Now, as a rebellious child, did you have any healthy relationship or unhealthy relationships while you was being rebellious?
I would say that I had unhealthy relationships.
Okay.
Growing up in a single parent household, not being able to see the dynamics of both mother and father, and kind of looking for any opportunity to, hang out with friends and do whatever my friends were doing. But what I didn't understand is that, when mom was telling me no to, oh, no, you can't go to the movie theaters, or no, you can't go to the skating rink, or, whatever it was.
Right.
It wasn't that she was telling me, she didn't trust me. She was saying, look, the kids who are going there and the environment that's happening is leading to, teen pregnancies and this and that. And I'd like to avoid that for you.
Okay.
But instead of having the dialogue with me, because I felt that I warranted a dialogue, I needed a conversation for why are you telling me no? Instead of that conversation, it was just a no. So my rebellion came in the form of, okay, well, if you won't let me go to the movies, I'm going to go sleep over at whoever's house. But her mom is going to take us to the movies. And what would always happen, because the community is so small, is someone would see me, and everybody knows my mom in our community. So they'd be like, oh, hey, and, I'd play it off. But then within 24 hours, so you went to go see that movie. Yeah, you did that. So that was my form of rebellion. Just,
wow.
I would turn a no into a yes some type of way.
So all those unhealthy relationships give you the know-how now to help the young people today. Teach them how to have a healthier relationship.
I absolutely feel like, my mom did her absolute best to keep me on the straight and narrow.
Oh, yes.
And I would not be where I'm at in life today. I would not be in the healthy marriage that I'm in today and have the healthy relationships with friends and family members that I have today, was it not for her. And I feel that, given my experience and, the education and relationships that I have had, I'm able to, I don't want to say mentor because I'm older now. They don't consider me a mentor anymore. But I'm able to kind of help guide and navigate the youth, and hopefully making healthier decisions as it comes to their relationships.
So how many white men you dated?
0.
Never dated a white man.
Okay, wait. Dated?
Back up, girl.
Dated or went on a date?
Okay, I'm going to say this. Dated, dinner, gave up your punani,
Oh.
and all that.
Okay. Never the latter portion. Never that. Went out to dinner, yes. In college, there were 2 gentlemen that I thought were gentlemen, but they were not. And I think it was my curiosity, because my mom, who had always dated white men, would always try and push me and, hey, I just, don't be so closed-minded and everything like that. But for me, what I think she didn't realize is it was a comfort thing. Having two different upbringings,
Right.
polar opposites, they probably grew up with mom and dad. They probably had, the nuclear family and household and everything like that.
The picket fence, the whole shebang.
All of that. I felt like I was not going to be able to relate to any of, their experiences. And as I got older, I think one of the other issues that I realized is I never wanted to have to explain things or even feel the need to explain.
Right.
Oh, if we went out to dinner and I felt like I was being treated, a little bit differently, I didn't want to have that conversation to say, oh, John, you didn't realize that, that waitress just called me whatever, or, and then have them be completely oblivious. So the first date in college, he was a white boy from California, so, he was down with the brown.
Okay, of course. They are.
But I think his goal was, hey, we're in college, so.
Hit and miss.
Yeah, and that wasn't happening for me.
Okay.
So I was just like, oh, thanks. It was nice to get dinner, and goodbye.
Okay.
And then another guy, I tried later to see, was it just that one thing?
Right.
Same kind of situation where no shared experiences. We were talking throughout dinner, and I bring up music, I bring up culture and things like that, and they're talking.
Couldn't relate.
So I just felt like I don't want to waste my time. Sometimes I wrap my hair at night. I don't want to be asked, 10, 15 years down the line, what is that thing on your head, and why do you do that, and what is that for?
Right,
So,
because they wouldn't understand.
Not at all.
They wouldn't understand. Do you ever have those Becky moments?
Help me figure that one out. What's a Becky moment?
A Becky moment is, just say your white side,
Okay.
and just have a blonde moment maybe, or
Okay.
have one of those moments.
I have ditzy moments.
Ditzy moments.
I definitely have some ditzy moments.
I call those Becky moments.
Okay. I attribute it to my pregnancy. So I call it pregnancy brain too.
Really? Okay,
Yes.
well you do have,
Yes,
that do
exactly.
comes with it.
But for the most part, I would say my goofy side, my silly side, that comes from my father's side. At his age, I don't know that you would necessarily consider him a mature adult. So there are times when, amongst friends and family and stuff like that, my immaturity will come out. But I'm able to correct that because of Bridget.
That's fine when you're around family. Though.
Yeah,
when you're around family.
So I can't say Becky.
No Becky moments. Okay, that's just who you are because
Yeah.
you're around family. You,
Yeah.
you let go, let your hair down, you be comfortable.
Yeah.
So that's not a Becky moment. A Becky moment is, I'll consider a Becky moment. With all these racial things going on now in the world, and you see these videos of a Becky moment when someone want to call the police on an African American male.
Oh, you mean the
female.
Karens of the world?
If you want to call them Karen, I'm gonna call them Becky.
The
Let's
Karens
call her Karen
of the
then.
world.
Yes. You never been a Karen moment,
no.
right?
Oh, no. Like I said,
call the police on a white guy.
I can't say that I've called the police on anybody.
Oh, okay. You ain't
Yeah.
have a moment then.
Yeah. I'm very cognizant of my surroundings,
Yes.
my environment, and I'm aware that even in my complexion as a black woman, that there is, certain experiences that I don't have had I been darker.
True.
So I do not take that for granted. I understand that that is, a privilege in itself, that many people, don't get because they are discriminated against based on how dark their complexion is.
Correct.
It's quite crazy, but my mom probably should have called the police when this happened. We were getting our nails done at a salon. I think I might have been all of 7 or 8 years old. And she walked in first, and I think I walked in maybe like 2 or 3 minutes later. And the lady who was, checking everyone in said, "Can I help you?" I said, "Yes, I'm going to go sit next to my mom." And she looks around the salon, and she doesn't see anybody. And she says, "Where's your mom?" So I point to her. And she says, but she's black.
Mm.
And I don't think I ever saw my mom get up so quickly and give that woman the deepest education on how black comes in all different shades. And how, you know, she needed to know better and she shouldn't have spoken to a child in that way. And, you know, kind of the impact that that could have made on me.
On you.
Feeling like, well, wait, you know, is she my mom or is she not my mom? Because we're not the exact same complexion. And I think I even recall her going into, my family has light skin because my ancestors were raped.
You know, they always try to justify themselves after the fight.
Yes.
Always
so I
try
think
to justify
she,
themselves.
I think she even went into, you know, the light skinness, you know, on her side, also coming from the, you know, fact of, hey, tell your grandfather not to rape my grandmother.
Wow.
Or great, you know.
Wow. You know, it's more that is happening now.
Yep.
More that is happening. You know what? Today has really been a crazy day.
It's okay.
It has been a really crazy day for me. I can't hear you. And okay. What I want to ask you is this before we go to commercial. Now, do you ever feel or have you ever perceived from either side of the family, either you're not white enough or you're not black enough?
Yes.
Not answer that right now.
Okay. After commercial break.
I want you to answer that after the commercial break.
Okay.
When you like really stuck in the middle, from the black side, from the white side.
Okay.
And you're not white enough or you're not black enough. If you had a family reunion on both sides, how would you feel? And how did it make you internally give you a reason to raise your child a certain way? Because, you know, that white line still runs in that blood until it fade out totally.
Yep.
But both sides, how do you feel? We'll be right back.
Back from commercial
Back
break.
from commercial. I thank you. Oh, Lord. I thank you on this evening for chiming on in with Divine Intervention on the couch. I have my very special friend here, Miss Stephanie Thomas. We're talking about race and relationship on this evening. And it's very important that we get the information out there because we have so many biracial kids out there and families where they may feel stuck in the middle, from the white side, from the African-American black side, and they don't know how to deal with it. So having you on my couch this evening, I want you to give a different perspective, and maybe you can help them out on how to deal with it, you know?
Okay.
My question to you before we went to commercial was, white side, black side, how do you deal with it when they say you're not white enough for us? And the black side, girl, you ain't black enough for me. You know, because the black side see you acting like I say, Becky. The white side see you acting hood. Where do you fit?
Okay. So, in my experience, I would say on my mother's side, that was never an experience. I never got, you know, oh, you're not black enough. As a matter of fact, my mom jokes around saying that I am more black than she is. Because of how in touch I am, you know, with our culture and our heritage and, you know, just trying to do as much activism as I can in the community, whether that's, you know, just having conversations or even through, you know, our work, you know, making sure that we're reaching out to the minority communities. So I drag her to any events that I can. I took her to go see Angela Davis speak. about 2 years ago, and I took her to see Sean King, an activist, speak as well, probably about 3 or 4 years ago. So that was never an experience that I had on my mother's side. Now, on my father's side, it wasn't that I wasn't acting white enough.
Okay.
I think it was, you are not white, and therefore you're not truly accepted. That was always kind of the underlying tone I felt in that side of his family.
Okay.
Starting from the time that I was very, very young, you know, I would notice like, well, my grandma on my mom's side calls and talks to me, you know,
Right.
every week, every month, whatever. She's calling and checking in, but they never call on, you know, to check on me or anything. So what's that about? And then as I got older and...
Stop right there.
Yeah.
You was how old? Around when you was younger? How did that make you feel, though? What age were you? My earpiece fell out, but go ahead.
I can't quite recall how old I was when I started noticing the differences.
Okay, but how did that make you feel?
Rejected. Like, oh, y'all don't want me because my dad decided to be in a relationship with a black woman, and, you know, now you have this black grandchild running around. So I felt rejected. And I do think that part of that experience is what also pushed me to identify more with, you know, my African American side and the culture and everything, because it was like, well, if I'm not wanted, I don't have to be here. So I think that definitely drove me, you know, to just be as black as I possibly could be. Yes. Like, okay, I'm going to show you guys. And so I remember when I did start kind of being aware of some of these situations, it would just kind of be like, oh, well, that's different. You know, why are some cousins who are full white, you know, given so much preference and, you know, they get to spend so much time with you as the grandparents, and, you know, I'm not that far away. You guys could call and pick me up on the weekends if you wanted, or whatever the situation may be. So I was aware of that. And then my grandfather, he would have some conversations that, you know, around the dinner table here and there, during holiday times when I would go over there. And I remember, I think it was one Thanksgiving, he was talking about going and playing golf. And he said, yeah, when I used to hit the golf balls at the range, I'd go pay the colored boys, you know, 5 cents or whatever to bring me all my balls back. And everybody at the table kind of just went quiet.
Yeah. Like if they can hear a pin drop.
Yes. And, you know, then I started getting the awkward stares like, oh, did his comment make her feel uncomfortable?
A certain way, yeah.
But a statement like that, you know, I have to also understand the era that he was raised in, where that was socially acceptable, you know, verbiage that was used.
Yes.
And, you know, whether it was him or whether it was his parents, he might have been raised to believe, you know, that that difference needed to be there.
Okay.
And that separation.
I'm getting a question in for you. Would you allow your daughter to date a white guy?
My preference is that my child identify with her culture. Whoever he or she loves, I have to be accepting of that.
Up to her, yeah.
But my preference is that they stay within the culture.
What culture is that, girl? Say it, girl. Say it. Don't be.
African-American.
That's right. Don't be ashamed. Be proud of your color.
It's not being ashamed. I think that a lot of people in our current state, you know, they feel like if you want your child to be a certain way or date a certain way, that you're racist or something like that. Or, you know, you might be prejudiced. Because of some of the experiences that I've had, I can say that I have some, you know, some prejudice, and therefore I would want my child to not experience those same things. And I feel like if they date within their own culture, they won't have to experience those things. and they'll just be comfortable.
You know, I don't feel that you're being racist as a mother because we feel their pain. We have to carry their pain when they can't carry their pain. So as a mother, we want the best for our children. And even though we desire that preference, I mean, it's okay to desire it. But once they grow and you know, become their own, they have a choice to make on their own. But whatever choice they make, you know, we still going to be there to pick up the pieces.
Yes.
Whether it works out or not.
It's their decision to make.
It's their decision
ultimately.
to make, yes. So, and with everything going on now with Black Lives Matters, what do you think about, I mean, the way the world is going on now, you know, police officers killing black men, black women, it's just not the men anymore, you know.
Yes.
I mean, do you actually think when your kids grow up, what would that look like? I mean, just tell me, how you think that would look like? The way the things going on right now, how do you think that would look?
I have hope because the millennial population and the Gen Z population, they have a very, very strong voice. And they are fed up, and enough is enough. And I think that, you know, as the millennial population, you know, starts to really take a stand for what's important, sometimes that may be rebelling against their own parents and what their parents taught them and, you know, their parents' parents. But I think it's just this old school thought, you know, amongst cultures, and also not to ignore, you know, systemic racism that is ingrained into, you know, our politics, our criminal justice system, our education, our healthcare. All of that, I do believe, will change. It's going to take some time. Unfortunately, some populations got to die off. Those older folks, they're the ones still stuck in this, you know, old school frame of mind where they think, you know, that the criminal justice reform is a bad thing, not understanding that we should push more money into these communities. Let's get some programs going. You know, let's look at alternatives to jail or prison. Something.
Because prison is a business. Jail is is a business.
Especially the private-owned ones.
Oh, definitely. And, you know, they're just making money off our black and brown men.
Yes.
At the end of the day.
It is just like the 13th documentary, you know, notates that it is modern-day slavery.
Yes, yes, yes. I would like for you to look into that camera.
Which camera?
And whichever one that's looking at you.
Okay.
And talk to all the biracial kids to make it. I mean, they don't have to make a decision if they choose to be white or black. They who they are. What would you tell them on today? And going forward, even though we're not going back to school just of yet, but even being able to accept the fact who they are, and that they really don't have to choose sides unless that's a choice that they want to do.
I would by all means tell all of the children that, you know, they have to love and accept who they are. You were born just the way that you were meant to be born. Your skin is beautiful just the way it is, and you don't need to change to just love and accept who they are. You don't need anyone's approval. You don't need anyone's permission to be who you are. Just be yourself. Love yourself.
That's it.
I think there's not enough positive reinforcement for children these days, and loving their genuine selves. And then peer pressure coming into play with kids, you know, as well. They feel that they have to maybe lean one way versus the other. I just want people to, you know, this younger generation to just be accepting of who they are.
Yes, yes, yes. Now, as a wife and as a mother, what are some of your worries?
Thinking about my husband making it home.
Yeah.
That, you know, as articulate and as educated and well-spoken as he is, he's a black man. He cannot change the color of his skin. I want him to make it home every day. That's it. I want him to come home, you know, to his loving wife, his children, and just get home safe.
Do you ever think about what if he don't make it home?
Yes.
What if he don't make it home?
You're killing me.
I'm sorry,
You're
but
killing me.
you know, as any loving wife and mother of kids to a black man, you always have to have that what if he don't make it home.
Yes. Him and I have these conversations regularly, and have had them in the past. And he's a smart guy. So, you know, if something were to happen where he was, you know, pulled over or something like that, he knows. Yes, sir. No, sir. You know, how can I help? Oh, I was speeding, sir. I'm sorry about that. You know, we've had these conversations, and they can be uncomfortable, but it's the reality. It's the world that we live in, and they need to be had. So, that's, I would say it's not even really the police that I am afraid of nowadays.
Okay.
With our current administration, I feel that the supporters of our president that look at minorities as, you know, just draining, you know, the economy dry. You know what I'm talking about? Those
Yes.
all lives matter folks. The ones who, you know, walk around with their MAGA hats and all of that. I think I'm more so afraid of them because they feel so emboldened in our current, you know, state of the world that they feel that they can just act any type of way without punishment, and they can do anything. And, you know, to what extent are they allowed to get away with their crimes? I just think about, you know, if something were to happen to him.
Let me ask you this. Don't say that.
Okay.
Now, normally he come home a certain time.
Yes.
You know, right? Now, say he's on his way home. He drive along a distance, right, to get home. No phone call. 30 minutes late. It's dark. I'm going to say 10, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
No, nothing. No one have heard from him. Where your mind would be at that time?
On the streets, driving around, looking for him. If, you know, if it came to that, we've actually run into that situation before, and we've had that conversation. You know, if you are going to be somewhere, you know, hanging out with your friends, by all means, please do so. Have a good time. Please get back when you say you're going to get back. Please communicate with me if you are going to be late. You know, please communicate with me if you, you know, decide that you want to stay out a little longer. So that way I'm not, you know, sitting at home wondering all the what ifs in the world, especially right now. You know, being pregnant, you know, thinking about bringing another child into the world. I want my husband to make it home safe. So,
and we all do.
We have that conversation regularly. The importance of communication. It's essential.
It has to be.
Yes.
Even the more now.
Yes.
You know, because things can change in the snap of a finger.
Yes.
You know, he can be on the phone with you and hang up and boom. You know, we
Exactly.
just don't know. And with all of us, just not with him, with you. You know, I would say I would be more fearful of the police, not of the Trump supporters. Because at the end of the day, look, we got to get it.
Yes.
I'm being real.
Yes.
We got to get it. You know, you get me or I get you, but we
Yeah.
going to get it.
Yeah.
But with the police officer, they feel as if they have so much leverage. And no matter how much you say, yes, sir, no, sir, my hand's on the steering wheel, you know, here's my ID or whatever. If they have you in a predicament where there's no one around, you in a dark place, traveling, trying to make it home, they may take their shot.
I can say that I have been very fortunate in that through my education, I was taught at a very early age, I'm sorry, my nose ring, not to pull over if you're in a dark area.
Get to a lighted area.
Get to a well-lit area. So what if they're following you for 5 minutes?
That's right.
So what? You get to a safe area, where you feel comfortable that you can pull over and nothing's going to happen. So whether that means, you pull off the road into a public shopping plaza or whatever that may be, I'm not too concerned about that. I have 2 brother-in-laws who have served with the police, and, they do their best to, I think, speak to me, and in general about, not all police officers are bad apples.
And that's true. That is true.
It is truly unfortunate that the system itself is broken.
Yes.
And that, certain individuals have made it, to where it looks like all police are bad police. And I know that's not the case. Like I said, 2 of my brother-in-laws, they're wonderful people.
Right.
But you can't save, that you can't say that every single one in the bunch is going to be the same way. So, can I say that every police officer, that's in the same, district or area is the same way as them? I can't say that.
No, you cannot say that. No.
I can only speak for them. But yeah, I just feel that until there is a reform, even in our police departments. I don't like to say defund the police, because even though that's...
We need them, though, at the end of the day.
Exactly.
We still need them. We just need the crooked ones to be out.
When defund the police movement came out, everyone will agree that by no means are we saying no police officers.
Right.
What we're saying is, let's take an allocation of this money and let's redivert it into the community. Let's put some programs into the community that, will make our environment a little bit more safe. Maybe they will educate the police officers on, how to properly approach individuals so that they don't, automatically come off scared or timid or, shaky, and then, put the officer on alert. So, I do think there needs to be a reallocation of funding that's diverted back into the community.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Truly, definitely. Now, what is your perspective on race and race in relationships when dealing with the current administration? Our president,
Yes.
we all know how he feels.
Yes.
So what is your perspective on that?
We cannot deny that systemic racism and racism is an issue in the United States. In 2020, it is still an issue. I think during the Obama administration, things were a little bit more quiet, because for the first time, we felt like true progress was being made for Black people. And, whether some people liked that or didn't like it, they were quiet about it.
That's true.
They were very quiet. And so, once his time passed and new election comes up, all of a sudden we have, a candidate who is speaking about building walls. And automatically when you put that type of rhetoric in the environment, you have people who are like, yeah, let's kick out all of, the illegal and undocumented immigrants, not understanding, in all of the ways that they contribute to our society as well.
Yes, they do.
People don't just wake up and decide that they're going to go cut their grass, or that they're going to go do farming or whatever it is. And while this is more laborious work, they're the ones doing it. So they're contributing to our economy and to society. And I really hated that during the campaign, there was a lot of rhetoric about illegals and undocumented being criminals.
Yes.
That really, it stung, because you're generalizing entire populations of people, whether we're talking about South American, Central American, Haitians, Jamaicans, whatever. You're stereotyping entire populations of people. So I think that emboldened, like I said, that group of people to start creating that divide of us and them. And it's unfortunate that when you have people who, were raised certain ways, and I can't say it's their fault, but it's been taught to them. Yes. That it's going to take a lot of work to break this school of thought. I had a person that I had a discussion with tell me she couldn't understand why the media was making things a race issue. And I had to explain to her, it's not the media. The media is just shedding light on it.
Right.
And she was like, well, I understand the All Black Lives Matter movement, but really and truly all lives matter. And I had to sit her down and say, but not all lives are being taken.
That's true.
So the media is shedding light to the fact that there are disproportionately, much higher rates of Black lives being taken by whether that's police brutality or whatever it may be in comparison to other races. So that's all it is. People have camera phones now. We didn't.
Thank God, though.
Yes.
Think about it. Years ago, you was lynched and somebody found you the next morning hanging from a tree. Or if they killed you, they threw you in the bush. No one knew.
Yes.
But now, somebody got you.
Yes.
On camera. And that's a good thing.
You will be held accountable now.
Yes.
And I think that's the part that we are working on as a society, is holding our officers and holding individuals accountable for their behaviors. 8 minutes and 46 seconds is not appropriate to have your knee down on someone's neck. Not now, not ever.
Correct.
Had that film not been taken, we would not know exactly for the length of time. And, thank God.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. It's so unfortunate, but thank God that this is, now out there so we can see, okay, this is a problem and we need to fix it.
Sometimes lives have to be taken in order for justice and the truth to come out. And sacrifices, I would say the ones that, even though they was murdered, but their lives, their murders allowed us to really say, we got to stand up and say something.
Yes.
We have to stand up and do something.
Yes.
We have to just, we need a movement. Because years ago, it's just like sit back and not do anything. It play out, it's over, and they died for nothing. They got murdered for nothing. But now we have a voice.
Yes.
And we need to keep that voice.
Exactly.
We just should not let anything just die down anymore. We have to stand up and be heard.
And I think that we are seeing that with the protests that have been occurring all across the United States. People are sick and tired of turning on the news and seeing someone else was murdered and someone else was murdered and someone else. It's like, how many people in a month can you see dying from the exact same issue and the issue itself not be addressed?
Correct.
People are tired. So I'm sorry, but I can't be mad with protesting.
Oh, no.
If I wasn't pregnant, I would be out protesting myself.
I was going to do my own protesting with a meat house once upon a time, a couple months back, because the way, I felt I was being treated wrong, know. And I would have, if I wouldn't have got my verbal apology, it would have been on.
Yeah.
The thing is this, we been quiet too long.
Yes.
And now it's time for us to stand up and have a voice,
Yes.
Now I want to go back to your place of business where you work. Tell me some of the services you guys provide. Can you just let the audience know?
Yes.
But before then, please make sure you like, comment, and share. We have to make sure that, we put this information out. We have a lot of young kids or older adults who haven't decided who they are. They caught in the middle in a sense. Don't know, well, if I go here, I'm not accepted. And if I go here, I'm not this or I'm not that. So we really want you to take in, absorb all of the information that you're getting on today. But I want you to tell me about Monarch Health Services.
Yes.
And all the services you guys provide.
Okay. So, Monarch Health Services, we provide medical services in the form of confidential and free HIV and STD testing.
Okay.
We provide laboratory testing for any individuals who have tested positive for something and need treatment for, whatever that may be, regardless of a person's ability to pay.
Now say that again. Say that again.
Regardless
And be
of
clear
a
with it.
person's ability to pay,
It's free.
it's free. It's free because
No one has an excuse.
none. We know that this is a service that is needed for the community.
What's your address? Where are you
Twen-
located?
2580 Suite 1 Metro Center Boulevard in West Palm Beach, Florida, right off of 45th Street and Village Boulevard. Yeah. So in addition to the medical services that we offer, we have some social support services. So for anyone who has been newly diagnosed with HIV, we are here to help you. We
Okay.
want to, kind of hold your hand through this entire process. It can be scary, someone telling you, that you have this diagnosis and you not being knowledgeable about it. It is a chronic manageable disease like diabetes, like hypertension. One medication a day, and you can continue to live a normal, long health span just like anybody else.
Do you give out condoms?
We have so many condoms.
Do you
Come get our condoms, please.
You offer condoms?
Yes.
But this question for you is before we go to commercial break.
Okay.
Have you ever did a demonstration with a dildo? We'll be right back. Oh, you did it. Hi, welcome back.
We're back.
We're back. Caroline Hill, Divine Intervention, The Couch with Miss Stephanie Thomas. Thank you again
Thank
for
you.
coming out, sitting on the couch. Didn't mean to make you tear up a little bit.
It's okay.
But you know what?
I'm passionate about my baby.
And that's what you're supposed to be,
Yeah.
girl. That's your man.
Yep.
I'm asking you all to like, comment, and share. And also, please, if you have any questions for Miss Stephanie Thomas, please make sure you send them to us, and we will make sure she answers them for you. Now, the question, the question was, before we went on a commercial break,
Yes.
you give out condoms.
Yes.
Have you ever demonstrated putting a condom on a dildo for a patient or a client?
Not for an individual patient or client.
Uh-huh.
In my previous experience when I was with the State Department of Health, occasionally I would go out and do outreach at local high schools. And if you ever want to make teenagers uncomfortable, you do a condom demonstration.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
It's important to make sure that individuals understand sizing is important, wearing the appropriate size condom for, their external genitalia.
So there is a difference in size, right?
Yes.
What's your preference?
I mean, my preference of,
Size, girl, size.
I mean, as long as I'm satisfied,
Mm-hmm.
that's important.
Okay.
It's important for your
But size
partner.
doesn't matter.
I think size does matter.
Okay.
But I think it's important for your partner to be able to satisfy your needs and vice versa.
Yes.
So if you are a person who, likes a smaller size and that's what, makes you happy and makes you comfortable, then that's great. If you're a person who wants a medium or a large, it's, you get your order right.
I have a question for you.
I'm scared.
Have you ever had a discussion around your white side of the family about race?
I have had discussions with my father and with my aunt. I cannot say that my grandfather before his passing and my grandmother would be open necessarily to having those conversations. They know that I'm biracial, but I believe that in their frame of mind, race is not an issue, when in fact it is. We all know it is.
Right. So how did that conversation go with Dad and Auntie?
So my dad was one who was down with the brown. As far as I can recall, he has always been attracted to black and brown women. You know, after him and my mom broke up, and, you know, when I was a little older, you know, he'd be like, oh, wow, that lady's really pretty. And I think in my head, I was always expecting him to say that it was going to be a white woman. But when I would turn and look,
it would be,
it's always a black or brown woman. So things have never been uncomfortable with him in terms of talking about race. He has told me that he's had conversations with other individuals when they, you know, have said a racial slur that, like, well, you need to check yourself. You know, my daughter is black, my ex-wife is black, and, you know, that's not to be tolerated. My aunt is very similar in her upbringing. I think she rebelled against that old school frame of mind, maybe that my grandfather and grandmother had. So she does not support at all, you know, any racial divide.
And that's a good thing.
Yes, I'm very thankful for that.
So how does that make you feel when people mislabel you as white?
Oh,
I mean, because think about it. If you and I would walk into a mall,
yes,
right, together,
Yes.
shopping, now they see I'm all black, right? But you, they would think maybe, you know, that's a white sister, and they come up, you may treat you a little bit better versus treating me.
That used to really, not used to, still frustrates me. Because I think looking at me, I have enough melanin for you to know that I'm not white.
True.
However, I definitely understand that there is a difference in treatment in maybe the way I go shop versus someone else. An example, my mother and I went to a department store years ago, and my mother does very well for herself, and she wanted to treat herself with, you know, a luxury item.
Okay.
So she's walking around the store, and the security guard is following her around the store. Now, really and truly, she could have bought out that store if she wanted. But as a form of, you know, rebellion, she said, I'm not going to shop with you because you treated me this way when I walked in the store. So as we're walking through the mall, she walked into another luxury store, and they did not treat her that way. When she walked in, hi, how can I help you? Is there anything that I can show you? And she cleaned that store out. So she definitely, you know, is not going to be involved in any way with, you know, unfair treatment. But like I said, I understand that, you know, if her and I are separated, we may receive two totally different forms of treatment wherever we are.
True.
Just because of me having a lighter complexion. Now, the crazy thing is, I have cousins who are lighter than me who can pass for white, and they are black. And so I think she being aware of our family dynamics, having a biracial child, she was fine in raising me because she knew, like I said, we have all shades of black in our family. So, you know, from midnight to pale as can be and will burn quickly, but they are actually black.
Right.
So
I mean, you know, and that's the thing. We accept all people. You know, we don't pick and choose. You know, you in the family, you in the family.
Yes.
You know, you may get your little nickname or something, but you still family. Nobody else can treat you wrong. You know, but that's who we are. And I think we was all made that way to just accept, even if you ain't the same color. Mm-hmm. You know, you can be white, you can be whatever, but we still gonna love you as our own, and that's the difference. That's the difference, you know. So I want to thank you on tonight for coming out, sitting with me, and telling me your story, your experience.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome, girl. You want to come by? You're gonna think about that, aren't you?
I gotta think about that. We gotta run through some Q&As to see if you don't catch me off guard or make me cry again.
Well, I guess you're not coming back. But you know what? I love you.
Thank you so much. I love you
I
too.
thank you for your time. Okay. And continue to have blessings with the pregnancy.
Thank you.
And with your marriage.
Thank you.
Time is winding up. I want to thank all of you for chiming in, for the questions, and just having a listening ear to Miss Stephanie Thomas. We love you. Divine Intervention says, God bless. Good night.